God bless you, beloved. Welcome to Spiritual Adults. This is Spiritual Adults. On this channel, we tell Bible stories and we just rely heavily on God through His Holy Spirit to give us a little nugget we can apply to our daily lives. I want to talk about Cornelius. He is found in the book of Acts of the Apostles, chapter 10. He is the character of Cornelius that fascinated me. I think because he has so many beautiful nuggets. Let me read, and Holy Spirit just help me so that I can bring everything out I want to point out. So it's Acts of the Apostles, chapter 10. I'm using my TPT, the Passion Translation, because for clarity and it gives me speed, so that I can, present more. You can use your KJV, NIV. They are all okay. I just like this, the way I presented it. So let's read. At that time, there was a Roman military officer, Cornelius, who was in charge of 100 men stationed in Caesarea. He was the captain of the Italian regiment, a devout man of extraordinary character. And this is what got me. A devout man of extraordinary character who worshipped God, prayed regularly together with his family. He also had a heart for the poor and gave generously to help others. So here is when this story puzzled me. Cornelius is a Roman soldier. The Romans invaded Israel. God gave them in for the Romans to conquer them, because when Jesus came, not all of them embraced him. So he said, I will leave you to your own device until you will accept me. And I'm paraphrasing, and say, blessed is he that cometh. So in AD 70, the Roman soldiers, they conquered Israel, and they were under the rule of the Romans. So Cornelius is one of the soldiers they sent to go rule over the nation of Israel, under the Roman government. So he's representing the Roman government who oppressed the Jewish people, contained them. So he is a Gentile. He doesn't know Jesus Christ. But yet, they said this man is devout, man of extraordinary character, worshipped God, and pray regularly. The Jews, yes, they are the children of God. This is what they do. They've been trained. God chose them as a special people. And now here is a Gentile man. Nobody preached Jesus. He didn't go to church or anything. For some reason, he imbibed the culture of the Jewish people. And he prays, does what they do. So kind of, he's practicing Judaism. But at this time, the Jews, God told them not to mix with the Gentiles at all. He said, no. So even though he's doing that, he can't even go worship with them. They will not even darken his door at all. But yet, this man is so devout. And, hunger for the things of God. It's like, he's a believer, somebody who believed in Jesus, believed in God, and he's doing this. But no, he's a Gentile. How he developed all of these things to fall in love with the things of God. That is what I'm like. How can you become? Can a Gentile be devout without knowing God? Without having a relationship with God. How can a Gentile know God without somebody telling him or her that here this is Jehovah God, the true God? You must worship him. How did he know to embrace God? He saw the Jewish people praying and doing whatever they were doing without being spoken to. He started practicing in his own way. And that is the crux of this matter. What he was doing, unknown to him, that heaven was taking notice. God noticed him. God said, look at this man. He is the one that is oppressing my people. I allowed them to conquer my people because they wouldn't listen. Jesus came, they rejected him. Here is a Gentile who has not been presented Jesus to. But here, look at how devout he is. It was too much for God. God said, he's seeking after me. His heart is after me. He's yearning after me. I have to, even though I said Jesus said the gospel must be preached in Judea, Samaria, before the uttermost part of the world. God said, no, it's time. I'm going down. And at this particular time, it's so dangerous because God told the Jewish people, don't mix with Gentiles. And here's a Roman soldier who is sent here officially to come and, rule these people, make sure that they behave, there's law and order. Now he's practicing their religion. How can he enforce law and order when he's the boss, he's the one oppressing the people at this time? And yet he will succumb to their religion. And even with all of this, they don't recognize him. He's not invited. They will not allow him to come in. So here is this two dichotomy, these two impossible situations. Yes, he's praying 3 times, but the Jews don't care. Because God told them, don't mix. So he cannot go to the Jews cannot come to him. So it's like, so what are you worshiping? It's like he was in la la land, no man's land, except that he wasn't. God in heaven saw. And God says, it's about time I open this door of salvation to the entire globe. And so he sends an angel. This man is a military man. God is the Lord of hosts, he's a military man. So it's military to military. That's how God, because the Jews cannot say, okay, yeah, come in and come and worship with us. No. God gave them that law, and it will be God that will change the law. So with Cornelius, God is about to change the law. God is military, Cornelius is military. And God sends one of his angels. Usually the angels, they are military. And I think what is interesting is that when the angel gets there, he said one afternoon about 3 o'clock, he had an open vision and saw the angel of God. So when the angel appeared, look at this military. It's military. They talk military talk. That's what I'm trying to say. He said, calling out his name, Cornelius. Cornelius was startled, and he was overcome with fear. And he said, and how you know? He said, what do you want, Lord? He did not use his military voice to answer. I say, he immediately acquiesced and knows that this is a power beyond him, and that is the Lord. And so the angel said, all of your prayers, your generosity to the poor have ascended before God as an eternal offering. Now, look at the military command. Now, send some men to Joppa at once. He didn't say, no, dilly-dally. God sent the angel. I said, send some men to Joppa at once. Have them find a man named Simon the Rock, who is staying as a guest in the home of Simon the Tanner. There are Simon. It's like everybody bears the same name over there in Israel. Whose house is by the sea. The description is to the T. At once. Do not waste time. This is a command from Mount Zion, from the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, the Lord of Hosts. At once. So military to military. Because what God is about to do is swing open this door of salvation wide open for the first time since the fall of man. And so, look at what Cornelius does. So after the angel left, Cornelius called for 2 of his servants, a trusted godly soldier who was his personal attaché. He explained to them everything that had just happened and sent them off to Joppa, action immediately. And I can see this is the seriousness with God. He didn't play, he didn't dilly-dally. And the men he chose to go do this mission said, go. He trusted them, men of integrity, no dilly-dally. Oh, can we stop and have a sweetie? It's 95 degrees today. No. Or can we have hamburger? No. They know the seriousness of the mission. And It's military to military, military precision, and you went. And another big kablam, earthquake. So Peter is hungry and he goes to the rooftop to go pray. But as soon as he started, he fell into a trance, and they said, he falls into a trance, and he says he saw something resembling a large linen tablecloth that descended from above, being let down to the earth by its four corners. As it floated down, he saw that it held many kinds of four-footed animals, reptiles, and wild birds. Then he said, a voice said to him, Peter, go and prepare them to be eaten. Peter replied, there's no way I could do that, Lord, for I've never eaten anything forbidden or impure according to our Jewish laws. So the PTP help us clarify and put in the reason why very well. He said the voice spoke again, nothing is unclean if God declares it to be clean. So this is seismic shift. God told them, don't eat this. And they grew up knowing that for generations. Now all of a sudden, God brings these unclean animals for him to eat. 3 times he came from heaven. He said, kill and eat, kill and eat. And he said, what I have called clean, let no man call unclean. I was the unclean. I was the Gentile. We were the Gentile, the unclean. God said, don't call my children unclean, they are mine. It would be only God that could have done that. No Jewish leadership could have done what God just did. And that's why Peter was quaking in his boots. Who? And Peter, even though he saw this, he has to grapple with this. And he says, Peter was so stunned by the vision that he couldn't stop wondering about what it all meant. Me, go? He will be killed on both sides. The Jewish Christian will say, which what? You're going to mingle with Gentiles? The Jewish people who don't believe in Jesus are trying to kill us. Now you went to hang with them. So the Jewish people will hate him. The Jewish believer will hate him. He was thinking, what is God doing? He's stunned. And then, as at that time, while he's being stunned, he said, meanwhile, Cornelius' men had learned where Peter was staying. And at that same moment, we're standing outside the gates. So you can imagine the anxiety, the stress Peter was going through. It wasn't an easy assignment. Because it's a taboo. And you're being the one to come and say, God has changed it. What dream? What did you drink or smoke last night before you went to bed, Peter? That you said God told you to go to a place that is taboo unto the Lord. And so, here comes the men. And then they called out, to those in the house. Is this where Simon the rock is stayed? So look at everything coming on Peter. As Peter was in deep thought, trying to interpret the vision, the Spirit said to him, go downstairs. Now, for 3 men are looking for you. Poor Peter. Don't hesitate to go with them because I have sent them. Peter didn't know what to do. Peter went downstairs to the men and said, I believe I'm the one you're looking for. What brings you here? We serve Cornelius, a Roman military captain. Woo! Roman, those are the ones that are ruling over us. What again? Roman soldier again? I just saw this. God said, go eat. So he's in this conundrum. And he's a devout man of the highest integrity who worships God, respected throughout the Jewish community. He was divinely instructed through the appearance of an angel to summon you, to summon you to his home and to listen to the message that you could bring. And so he said, okay, invited them, they spend the night. For the first time, Peter is sleeping in the same place with Gentiles. think about his anguish of soul, his confusion. And so he went with them. And do you know the journey is 30 miles? I did that a little bit, Google it. It's 30 miles from Joppa, from Caesarea to Joppa and back, 60 miles for God to break down this wall. But the emphasis here is on Cornelius, a Gentile who served God without nobody preaching to him. He so preached so much. I mean, he so worshiped God, reverenced God so much, honored God, that God acknowledged his worship. I know he put me to, I can't compare myself to him. God approved of him. Nobody preached to him. No Sunday school, no nothing. But he was able to please God. God said, I can use you. So you'll be the first person. Yes, you are good at everything, but I still can accept you. You have to, the gospel has to be presented to you. Jesus is the focus. Whosoever believes in Jesus should not perish but have everlasting life. That is the gospel. You have to, we will present the gospel to you. You will believe. It's not by works, but by faith. You must put your faith in my son Jesus for you to be, able to follow me properly. And so almost like proper documentation. And so Peter presents the gospel, and as he was talking, the Holy Spirit fell on them. But his integrity, risky, I will call it risky obedience on both sides, military to military, but you can see the character of Cornelius just shines through. Once the angel comes, gives the instruction, he did not waste time, and he made sure the men he sent, the men who would, get the job done. And we saw the results. He became the first Gentile. He represents us that will believe in Jesus Christ. And God swung the door open to the entire world because of the astuteness of Cornelius, a Roman Gentile, a Roman top military personnel. With all his position, he put all aside and acknowledged God. And because he acknowledged God, he elevated God, he esteemed God, God esteemed him and gave him the singular honor of being the first person to receive his son Jesus in the entire Gentile world. I'm impressed with Cornelius. I just pray that we esteem God like that so that God will esteem us. I hope you love the story. God bless you. And until next time, I'll see you. Thank you on Spiritual Adults.